Today. It's a hot topic on the internet and amongst us digital nomads and remote workers and people who want to have a more decentralized lifestyle. Things have changed as we're entering 2024, and I think, the geopolitical aspect has changed a lot lately. So we have to live in a different way right now. Having like one job, one passport, one residency seems like it's not enough. So we have to become even more global. So thanks a lot for everyone joining. And I'm just going to open up the scene and ask Mo, why is it good to have a second residency, first of all? And, why should people look into that, especially as we go into 2024?
Hi, Andrew. Thanks so much for inviting me back to the podcast. It's been a pleasure getting and working together. I mean, residency and passports or citizenships are getting it's getting from the corners of the internet to be something that mainstream. Many famous people like Sam Altman from OpenAI and very famous startup founders and billionaires and millionaires start acquiring citizenship and you can say golden visas in different countries. It's getting more into the norm. It was something that I've been doing for this myself almost 20 years, and people was asking me why are you stacking up passport or residency? Now it's the idea, as you mentioned in the introduction, is just having one passport, one residency. You will fall under the influence of just one government or one mindset.
And it feels like it feels, at least to me, from what I read, like the grip is getting tighter and tighter, and the censorship is tighter and tighter. So you don't want to be in that situation where you don't have any choice because you are stuck with one government.
Yes, it's not just about being. We can say it's not just being about the that you just tie up to one location or government. It's just one country is mean that your business facilities, your banking facilities, your permission to travel, you're allowed to do anything that related to being in one place.
So the residency basically unlocks anything from bank accounts to the permit to stay in that country and much more.
Mostly there's I mean the residency is starting as the idea of just having an e-residency, which is like a virtual actually you can have a card or whatever, but you have a government that give you a number. You can just open a company and nothing else with it, up to having a permanent resident, which is equal to green card. We can do everything as a citizen except that you'll not be allowed to vote. And so it's a very wide. There is a different terminologies. Most of the you can say there's no one trying to explain what is the difference between different residency. You can get we can start with e-residency and then the digital nomad visa, which is a digital nomad visa, which is temporary visa that allow you to stay in the country just and do limited things. You'll not be allowed to work. You can open a bank account, but you're not allowed to do physically on anything inside the country. And then you can
just live for a short while. Basically, that's
yes. It's a long term. You can say
temporary residence, maybe, or not even.
Yeah. It could be like 12 months, 24 months, and after this, you can have the opportunity to convert it actually to a real temporary residency, or you can put it into something that could be gained to full residency, permanent residency, or even you can apply for citizenship after a couple of days. Some countries allow this, some countries don't allow, and you have to understand the process. That because there's many digital nomads just come and ask me, I apply for the Maltese digital nomad visa or the Greece or the Spanish or the whatever in Europe and other countries. Mm-hmm. And he imagined that after 5 years, he will be able to apply for citizenship. Mostly, the path is not just straightforward. You have to go through different routes to go through all this until you get approved for full citizenship, which is something that you have to plan. So you need a plan. You need understanding what you can do and what you cannot do, and always understand the risk and responsibilities. That's the thing. When I get this kind of residency, I will be able to operate a business inside the country. Do I need to pay tax? That's one of the main questions everyone asks. What kind of tax system the country have? Do they will tax me?
Exactly. So let me
Yeah.
interrupt you there. And I get this question a lot also. Like when you have multiple residencies, like how do you look at this ecosystem now where you have multiple and you have to probably pay taxes in both of them or maybe in one or in none? So how should people think about that when they get a second residency or a third or whatever in that context?
The first step you need to know that you need to do to get out of your to have a global lifestyle is to have only one country that you pay tax in.
Mm-hmm.
If you are American, Canadian, European, or UK, the first thing, if you started to start remote working or digital nomad lifestyle, just leave your tax system, leave your home country tax system, and register in a country that have low or no tax system, like the United Arab Emirates, like Paraguay, a low one like Malta, like Greece, like I mean, there's different programs that you can join and enjoy a low or zero tax. That's
I'm
that's
guessing,
the first.
I'm guessing then there is a process to remove yourself from the high tax residency that you had before and move into the new one with low or no tax. So there is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, right?
Yes, it's a longer process, and it's starting with informing your IRS or HMRC or tax authorities in Canada, whatever the name, that I'm not living there anymore. I'm not a tax resident in my home country anymore. And mostly people mistake or just have misunderstanding when you inform the tax authorities that you are not tax resident, you will not have the benefits of living in the country anymore. Actually, no. You're just counting how many days you live in the country. You can keep your bank account, you can keep your home, you can keep everything that you have. You don't need to change everything by night, but at least have a plan that sometime you have to prove that you are not actually, you don't have any tax ties with your home. Yes, ties here, it's different by the country. The UK tell that how many days you're spending. Do you have a family home there? You will leave, you will getting back to live temporary or permanently in the country, or you just left and not coming back. That's the plan. They ask you always, are you traveling temporary or permanently? Are you planning to come back? And which country you are going to? My idea that if you, for example, if you someone would like to live in Southeast Asia like Thailand or Vietnam or any other famous destination in Southeast Asia, they don't have a tax residency plan. You don't have to tell your home country that you're going for this. Just choose the tax residency that your home country will know. They don't need to know everything about you. There's no harm for telling them I live in the UAE, but actually not living there, because they need just an official document to tell them I'm a tax resident in the UAE. UAE doesn't tax anyone, which is Dubai. Almost zero tax. Most of the personal tax is zero. They come up with a 9% tax on the corporate, but this is something else we can discuss later. So you tell them I'm a UAE tax resident. I have all the information. I have a residency there. I have a company. I have the bank account, and you can live anywhere you wish. That's that. And this is 100% legal.
But I think the principles are the same whenever you're changing residency. It's just that the conditions for living in that country or living that country are different from one country to another, correct?
That's the trick. You have to play by the rules. I mean, the large companies, Google, Facebook, and Microsoft have been doing this for years for their businesses. They incorporate their business, for example, in Europe, in Luxembourg, in US, in Ireland, or in the US in Cayman Island, and they operate a business from the operations. We take this idea. I've seen this opportunity almost 15 years ago, and I've applied this for myself. I'm giving all this back knowledge to all the individuals that they would like to start the journey and do exactly the same. There's thing that you can play by the rules, but you have to change the mentality and take it step by step. That's the thing, yeah.
And Mo, can you be a tax resident of multiple countries? Does it even make sense to have that?
In some cases, yes. If you have I have like a couple of friends, but they have startups in different countries, and they announce themselves a tax residency, for example, in the UK, and the same time in Portugal, and same time in the UAE, because they have tax benefits they get from each country. I mean, being a tax resident in the country, it doesn't have to that you pay tax in the country, but
it's not necessarily a liability, it can be an asset, yeah.
Yes, yes, you can. That's why it's like when you open your mind, you will be able to gain a lot from the rules. Being in one place, you just have to stick with the rules. But if you choose a different destination and you start understanding about the benefits, the pros and cons in this destination, and how can I get benefits, the maximum benefit out of it.
Out of each, basically, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
so it
yes.
does make sense in some circumstances to actually be resident of, and it's legally it's possible, right? So you can be, can you have fiscal residencies in multiple countries, not only like physical residence, but like fiscal.
It's the thing is that you will not be able to leave. You will not be able to have. I mean, it's depending on each time of the day, each time of the year that you spend on each country. That could be like by days.
Yeah.
But some countries, just once you declare a tax residency in the country, some countries count it by the days.
Yeah.
Like the UAE, you have to be there each at least 90 days per year so they can provide you with a tax certificate. If you don't need the certificate, that's fine. You just get the ID, the bank accounts, and you can lift. You have to visit them one day each 6 months. That's the minimum.
Okay.
Some other countries, like Paraguay, we have a question about it before. You get the residency just for further rules, and you can leave next day. You don't have actually to leave there. The government doesn't have a system to count in and out days.
Yeah.
Other countries, if you are a residency, for example, in Turkey, but you're actually not working in Turkey, you just have like a resident visa, or you have a kind of long-term residency. If you have a property there or something, you don't bother where you pay taxes. They don't ask you anything about your tax status, as long as you follow the rules and regulations. So each country have their own. They are different. They are not just the same everywhere. So you have to understand the rules and try to understand the rules and regulation in each country, and try to see what kind of benefits that you get from each location. That will benefit you.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. I think Nicole had a question. Nicole, if you want to unmute yourself, maybe this is the right time to put the question.
I don't think I had a question per se. I mean, I'm
All right.
actually curious as you're talking, Mohammed, where you are a citizen/resident of and what that's looked like for you, but maybe that's something you'll dive into later.
Yeah, it's like I have 5 passports and 6 residency. I've been collecting this almost 15 years now. I don't announce actually the exact numbers, but it's like this is the mix between, you can say, EU, UK, Latin America, Middle East, and Africa. Myself, I have a heritage in more than 8 countries, so I'll be able to dig deep in my family roots and get passports from different countries. Not everyone have the access to that, but also you can apply, you can build up residency in countries that you can build on top of it, and you will be able to stay like 5 years or 6 years and then apply for residency. You don't actually need to live there, but you need to establish something called paper residency. Some countries allow you to prove that you can have a property, you can have a company, you can pay minimal taxes in some countries, and then after 5 years you submit the documents, you go through all the rules, and you can apply for citizenship.
But you don't have to be there in person, Mo, you're saying?
In some cases, yes. Okay. In some cases, yes. They look to the residency as that you are actually established president. It's called economical residency. You have to actually be there. You have to have like ties. It's the other way around. When you say, okay, bye to Canada, I'm not living there anymore. When you go to establish another country, some countries just look to the ways that how you are benefit them. Do you pay some taxes in the country? Have you opened a company? Have you employed citizens in your company to benefit the local economy? Are you a good citizen?
They create the system so that you are basically kind of a cash cow, more or less.
Yes. I mean, as long as you follow the rules, you are not a criminal, you don't have any criminal history in other problems, everything will be clear. But back to Nicole, I would like to tell you, you mentioned at the beginning that you got Paraguay residency, which is very good. It's very efficient. but to get out of, especially from country like the Canadian system. But my advice for you, Paraguay doesn't have. It's very good to just to start your process, to have something else in your pocket. But it's much better to get residency, for example, in a country like the UAE. It doesn't have to be Dubai. Dubai is one of the Emirates in the United Arab Emirates, but we have other Emirates which could be more affordable when compared to Dubai. When you establish yourself, United Arab Emirates or Dubai is a neutral country. It have an excellent relation with the West and excellent relation with the East. It doesn't require you to live there. Actually, you just, as we mentioned, just 2 days per year. It have excellent banking facilities, not like Paraguay. You can do actually business for there, and if you spend 90 days per year, you will be able to have a proper tax residency certificate that you can use anywhere.
So you more than hold on, what's the difference? So you said 2 days, but now you're mentioning something about 90 days. So let's clear that out, because yes, I'm also confused here.
Yeah, the difference between 2 days and 90 days is very simple. Look at it is that if you spend just 1 day per 6 months, which is 2 days per year, that's the minimum to keep your residency going. Okay? That's the minimum amount of number you need to stay in the country. Even if you just enter the airport for a couple of hours and you just went back. So that's 1 day.
Yeah.
That's 1 day, okay?
Okay.
But to request something called tax residency certificate from the tax authority of the United Arab Emirates that you can use with your home country. I have many people in India, in Canada, and the UK now asking for tax residency certificate. They will be able to get it from the EU, but they have to spend at least 90 days per year at a total.
So it's basically a fast track. It's kind of a fast track. The more time you spend,
fast track.
Yeah.
Yes. And the UAE tax certificate is something that approved by any by any. I mean, there's no rejections. Even they understand that this country is zero tax. I have clients from Australia, and the Australian tax system is very strict, even restricted in Canadian, UK, and US. And they always, sometimes they don't accept the Paraguay, or they say, no, you're just trying this to get out of the Australian tax system. They know most of the loopholes, but they accept the UAE. They will not say, no, will not accept being the resident in the UAE. Once you follow, because they understand the UAE have a very strict system that you actually need to live there for a couple of times to move into the thing here. It's clear now?
Yeah, for me, yeah. I mean, I don't know, Nicole, if you have any other questions, or just feel free to jump in.
I appreciate that in-depth answer, Mohammed. I think the other question that I have been thinking about recently in this discussion is bank accounts. And I know increasingly it is getting much more difficult to open bank accounts as non-residents in different countries. So I think, we all have one in Georgia because that's pretty easy, but I'm curious if there are any good options out there that would be similar to Georgia, where you can easily open a bank account as a non-resident. Everywhere I go, I travel full time, so I don't really have a home. Every country I'm in, I try to open a bank account, and it's usually a no.
Yeah, yes, that's a standard answer most banks will give you when you try to open a bank account as a non-resident. I have different approach of this. Just let's have a scenario. When you tell the bank you don't have a home address, they will freak out, and they will say, sorry, we'll not be able to accept whatever applications. The bank just need to know the less information that you can provide them. If you have a postal address in Canada, even if you are not tax resident in Canada anymore, just tell them, this is my address, and do the application. Some banks will accept it, and you can have that. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing is that you have a fintech, like Wise, Rivulet, or similar. There's many similars in Canada, and you keep this bank account that will allow you to use it in different countries. You don't have to open bank account each country you travel in. It's not the most efficient way. That's the thing. That's why when you ask me, I say you need to have, when you leave your high tax country, you need to have a proper setup for tax residency in a country that have a proper banking system. That's why I advise about the UAE or Dubai. That's the third thing.
And against Paraguay in some cases.
Yeah, Paraguay is good, but they don't have a good banking system. They know this. good banking system for digital nomad that you can use anywhere. That's the thing. I will tell you what I will do actually. I have a home base in Ireland, okay, and I have an Irish address. Okay, I use this Irish address with all my bank with my fintech bank accounts, and I keep my Irish number with me. So wherever I travel, and I keep updating the all the information they need at the Irish system just to keep the fintech's account up and running. That will solve the problem until you have a proper place where you can call home or tax home, where you can have an official bank account. The fintech is not the problem, is not the solution for everywhere, but at least that will save you the trouble to open bank account. Georgia is a very good option, but you need to have an address there. It's not just have when you deal with the bank, they need to have a local number and they need to have a local address. Some banks, for the UK example, they need to have proper residential address. They don't accept businesses address or fake.
Isn't there a loophole with these addresses you can buy online, which are actually not virtual addresses, but like
some of them are blocked by the banks, especially the fintech banks.
Oh wow, okay, so they know. Okay,
they know you need to establish tax credit with the country that you're going there, and it's as long as you have a phone number from the country and a proper address. Some addresses you can buy online, you have to check them how much they have been used before. Some of them are blocked. Before you buy the address, go and try to register and open a bank account online with this address. If it's been accepted, okay, that's fine. If it's been blocked, don't use the address.
That's
or just register for 1 day. Sorry, for 1 month. Try to use the address for 1 month. Everything is fine. So don't tell the bank that you don't have a home. That's a very big red flag, and the bank will consider you a money launderer or a terrorist or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. Hi, Jessica. I think you're part of our group. Do you have any questions for us in terms of residencies? Or we only have 4 minutes left, so it's down to you if you want to ask something.
Oh no, not off the top of my head, but happy to be here. Thanks for letting me join even late.
No worries. We're gonna have it recorded. We have it recorded now, so I'm gonna post it in one of the spaces. Mo, anything else you want to mention? We only have 3.5 minutes left. Something we haven't.
Yeah. We can have general advice of all the things that we've discussed before, and the interesting question we have then from the right audience. It's like when you try to build a global lifestyle or go out of your home country, just have a plan. Don't look to your home country is that they are the enemy and I will find all the friends in other countries. Use it as much as you can.
Play the system.
Keep ties. Yes, play by the system. Keep as much as ties as you can with your home country, and try to establish real, not just paper residency in other countries until you understand the system in other countries. It takes you at least 6 to 12 months to understand the ecosystem. I call countries as the ecosystems. It's like the first time you get into an app or a software, getting into a country is the same thing. It doesn't happen instantly. You just need to understand the culture, the mentality, the language, the barriers, how they do banking, how they do the system, how you get in and out of the country. And once you are very familiar with the country, say, okay, I like this. I would like to keep you can say one of headquarters. I have 4 headquarters all around the world. Just try to build a headquarter where you will be able to travel into other countries, or build the base and then take it. The base here, phone number, proper address, banking facilities, residency. It can start with temporary, and then you build on top of that.
Very, very good advice, Mo. And what would you say are the top 3 residencies, now just to close it off, in terms of everything, like overall, and not ridiculously expensive? Or what would you say that are your top 3?
I mean, for we can say from the medium one is it's the United Arab Emirates, and you have also Greece, Cyprus, Malta, Spain and Portugal is very. I mean, Portugal is you can say that it's fully loaded now. There's no place to go now. But Spain is opening up. I mean, there is many. You don't have to go to Barcelona because it's very extremely expensive. But there's other you can say mid-tier or low-tier cities all around Spain that have a very affordable prices.
Yeah.
And you can apply for digital nomad visas, and you can build the kind of headquarters there. That's one of my advice.
But Mo, can you migrate from a digital nomad visa status to a temp residency or even a full residency? Are countries that
Yes,
allow
you can.
that? Okay,
You
so
can.
that would be a
Spain,
nice
Spain,
entry
yeah.
point to Spain, for
Yes,
example.
but it will not be cheap. It will not be
Okay.
cheap. Countries attract you with a very cheap digital nomad visas, sometimes a couple of $100. But to convert to actual residency, you have to provide a lot of documents and you have to use expensive lawyers. That's something you'll not be able to get over it.
And one thing I want to mention that I know from my acquaintances in Spain is that taxes are really high, so you don't want to be taxed in Spain at all.
Yes, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to declare your worldwide income.
Sure.
When you start to choose the country, you just say you don't have to bring all your money in one country. That's one of the things, especially if the country is high taxes. But you can choose the country based on lifestyle and cost of living.
Correct. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. This was it. I'm going to post the recording in a space, so you're going to enjoy it. I think there were a lot of good things in this one. And we're going to create another one soon to talk another subject. So thank you very much for joining. See you soon and see you in the circles.